Hey, what's up guys? I am your host Ryan Zoo, and this is King of the Hill. Alright guys, it is finally here. It is finally here guys. We get to see the king in King of the Hill, the Dark Affliction, and he's playing against Assassin Boy 2600. So this is a Nobleman battle, which is basically a battle between two noblemen. Assassin Boy currently, I think, 5th or 4th in the noble rankings, and of course Dark Affliction as the king, he is ranked 1st in noble rankings. And very interesting here, Assassin Boy going for spaced blues instead of regular red economy. So trying to do a bit more damage, and oh my god, quite a bit of damage getting done here. But it hasn't forced the Dark Affliction to get another bomb tower, so he's still pretty happy just to lose a couple of lives. And in the meantime, Assassin Boy going for an upgraded bomb tower. Plus, we're going to see farm vs no farm. So this is going to be a really interesting game number 1 here, guys. We're going to see if Assassin Boy has prepared some sort of special strategy to go against the farm strategy of Dark Affliction. Generally, these times, farm strategies are already pretty figured out. Just those huge round 30 rainbow rushes, or huge round 20 rushes, and also any other rush at any other time if you feel like your opponent's really weak. So really interesting here that Assassin Boy is going to go for probably bomb tower tech shooter. That's usually what you see, and there it is, tech shooter coming down. And Dark Affliction, of course, going for the solid old boomerang strategy, which is very common when you use farms, because you want to use a 2-3 boomerang to solo round 6. You don't want to have to spend anything else for round 6 as you have to do for bomb tower tech shooter, which means you can get more and more farm economy. So, Dark Affliction, currently the king. He has been the king for such a long time. He defeated Speedo like about a month ago, and ever since then, there's been a couple of people, maybe, I think isuckatbattles has tried challenging him a couple of times, and maybe someone else, and he's just never lost. He's just stayed as king the whole time. And the Assassin Boy 2600 is recording this. By the way, guys, this is also known as, he's also known as Flippy sometimes, and he's actually the Prime 19's brother, which is really interesting. So he, obviously any strategy that Prime 19 knows, Assassin Boy also knows, and Prime 19 sometimes thinks that, well, he basically, I've asked him, you know, who's better out of himself, Prime 19 or Assassin Boy, and Prime says that they're both very equally skilled. So really interesting to know that, you know, Prime 19 and Assassin Boy are two brothers who are really good at Bloons TD Battles, and they can discuss strategy and talk about how to get better and things like that, which is really cool, and it's just a great way for people to get much better at this game. Now, pretty interesting here that Dark Affliction has not gone for any aggression whatsoever. He's just going pure farm economy. He's doing a little bit of aggression here, just to force Assassin Boy to get that 3-0 tech shooter, and that should be enough to stop any black rushes. I think Dark Affliction should do a black rush on round 8 though, because a regrow black rush would do a lot of damage to this defense. This defense is nowhere near enough for regrow blacks, and I think he should go for attack, but he's choosing not to. He's just going to choose to get more farm economy. Also, interestingly, Dark Affliction has not got any defense up for... Oh, so here it is. This is a really strong attack for somebody who doesn't have Ricochet. You go for regrow blacks and yellows, and that means that all those balloons get passed. Look how many balloons are getting passed. This is going to be a lot of lives lost for Dark Affliction. Oh, not too many. Actually, yeah, quite a few lives lost there. And that's a really strong attack that's always guaranteed to do damage. You just send 2 regrow blacks, and you send a bunch of yellows afterwards. And those just stack up perfectly when they reach this part of the bend. And it means that those regrow blacks just basically never get touched by the boomerang, just because the solo 3-0 boomerang is just not enough. Alright, so we're getting up to the dangerous rounds now. It seems that both these guys have their mortars up for round 12 camera detection. And we're going to see if Dark Affliction is going to choose to do the round 13 farm rush, or if he's going to wait and do a later rush. Oh, very interesting here. Assassin Boy obviously going to try and use a Blade Maelstrom to stop any rainbow attacks. So I'll be curious to see if this Blood Maelstrom will be enough, because it's really hard to get enough Blood Maelstroms to stop a rainbow rush. Okay, so a really small... Whoa, that's a tiny rainbow rush. But still pretty dangerous. This rainbow rush is still pretty dangerous. Probably need some more defense there. Oh my god, this is going to cause a lot of lives lost. Down to 56 lives. And that's caused Assassin Boy to quickly get up that 4-0 bomb tower. Dark Affliction playing really well, doing the perfect size rush. That rush cost him almost nothing, guys. It was only 3 rainbows, And now some spaced regrows, so not regrows, camos by Assassin Boy. Interesting choice here. And a couple of them get past, so a few lives lost there as well by Dark Affliction. These guys are both so good, always finding ways to exploit each other's defense. But still, neither player knowing, able to go for the kill right now. So, whoa, there's three tech shooters here. So obviously, Assassin Boy are scared of that ceramic rush, and he's going to use this and use his defense to beat the ceramics. In the meantime, he's going to go for a ceramic rush versus Dark Affliction. Looks like some might get through. Oh, okay, so Dark Affliction quickly going for another 2-3 boomerang, and that would definitely be enough to stop these ceramics. Meanwhile, going for more farm economy, already up to 6 farms. Holy gosh. Man, Dark Affliction is so good. How is he able to get so much defense, but also get so much economy? I have no idea. So now he's going to get his bomb towers up, getting that Moab Mauler to pop those Moabs. And with that with his 3-2-3 boomerang as clean up afterwards, he should be just fine for round 18. Meanwhile, Assassin Boy also getting that Mauler up, so both these guys are pretty much set for round 18. just being able to squeeze that bomb tower in. So yeah, round 18 rushes are not very common, just because it's reasonably easy to defend. Usually, one or definitely 2 mortars, not mortars, Moabs will be enough. But what's this? Dark Affliction is going for a Moab rush, and oh, I saw a couple of lives lost, but overall defended pretty damn well. And looks like we're probably going to see a round 20 rush here. I'd be really surprised if Dark Affliction is not going for a round 20 rush, because that really is the farm rush, guys. It's pretty much really hard, maybe even impossible to defend a round 20 rush. And oh, meanwhile he's going for a Moab rush here. So Dark Affliction is pretty confident that his single Moab Mauler is enough, and indeed it is enough. Wow, I'm pretty surprised. So guys, oh, so here's the big rush here, guys. The big spaced Moab rush. So many Moabs. Oh my gosh, he sold all of his farms for this. So this is going to be it right here, guys. Can Assassin Boy defend? Looks like he's losing lives. This might be it. GG! Game number 1 going to the Dark Affliction, doing that perfect round 20 rush. Did you see how perfectly he spaced those Moabs? So you don't want to go for like Moabs that are super bunched together, because then the Moab Maulers are able to damage all of the Moabs at the same time. You want to space them apart a little bit. You know, the perfect balance of spaced apart, not too much apart, because it gives your opponent more time to defend, but not too close together that the Moab Maulers are able to pop them all together. And we see there that Dark Affliction spaced them out perfectly to make the defense the maximum difficulty, and it means that yeah, the defense that Assassin Boy 2600 just did not have enough defense. So game number 1 going to Dark Affliction. Man, his name is so long. I want to call him TDA, because I usually call him TDA when I talk to him on Skype. I might call him TDA for the rest of the series. Let's go to the game number 2. Okay, we're here in game number 2, and it's Assassin Boy's choice to choose the map. What map has he chosen? I didn't get to see the loading screen, so I have no idea what map he's chosen actually. I wonder if it's going to be a big map or small map. He's probably going to pick a big map because he's probably scared of... Oh, Park! Interesting. So it's a medium-sized map, not big and not small. And by the placement of his bomb tower, he looks like he's going to bomb tower tech shooter again. Usually you would start with a boomerang if you're going boomerang strategy. And if he went bomb tower tech shooter on cards, he's probably going to go bomb tower tech shooter on Park as well, as this is an even better map for bomb tower tech shooter. And what is this? Look at this ridiculous boomerang placement by Dark Affliction. I've never seen that before. I wonder if that's a mistake. Nah, I'm sure the king would never make a mistake. That is insane. I've actually never seen that before. Wow, that's a real trippy... What the hell? Double bomb tower. Okay, guys, I'm totally lost now. I have no idea what these guys are doing. I have never seen double bomb tower before. I'm guessing he's doing this to maintain no lives lost. That must be it. Probably a single bomb tower at the very beginning can't maintain. Oh, I see a red balloon getting past. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that red balloon getting past? I think Assassin Boy's gonna lose life right here. I think there it is. Oh, a life lost by Assassin Boy. So he's already down a lot. As long as Dark Affliction can maintain no lives lost, he's gonna have this game. But with that interesting boomerang placement, I actually don't. Oh my god, another life lost. That's just really huge, guys. Park is not really a small map. You can pretty much be guaranteed. Oh, that was. Oh, never mind. That was really close. A balloon almost leaked there. Oh, so unfortunately, I can see here Assassin Boy did not go for a pink rush. If you go for a quick pink rush here, I think it could cause a Dark Affliction to cause him losing lives, definitely. as Dark Affliction was a little bit slow to get that 2-3 boomer. And now with the pink rush by Dark Affliction, he's probably going to lose even more lives with this cluster bomb. That's really that's the problem with Texture to Bomb Tower, is that if your opponent's not going farms, you need to maintain no lives lost. And Bomb Tower Texture is just not as good to maintain no lives lost as Dark Affliction. But having said that, this boomerang placement is so interesting. It looks pretty good because it's shooting into the balloons, and you always want your boomerang to shoot into the balloons. It makes it almost like 1.5 times as effective. But yeah, I don't know. What if the balloons get past? I mean, there's just nothing covering the second part of the track at all. So we're going to see if Assassin Boy can figure out a way to exploit this boomerang position, or maybe if this boomerang position really is as good as it seems. But it's just so weird because it's just like right in the corner in the middle of nowhere. So, wow, this is really interesting. So Assassin Boy, instead of going for tech shooters, he's going for a mortar as his popping power for black balloons. This is so different from what we usually see, guys. So it's really interesting to see at the really top level that these guys are coming up with strategies that are way different from the normal strategies you see. You see different boomerang placements, you see mortar bomb tower, which is just incredibly different. So with the flaming mortar, it actually does a pretty good job of popping these black balloons. But again, these balloons, look, they're probably going to leak. Oh no, they're doing alright. Okay, no, we see here some more balloons that get past. So Assassin Boy losing even more lives. And meanwhile, Dark Affliction getting his 2-0 boomerang to support versus blacks. Assassin Boy is using completely the wrong strategy here, guys. I think he should go for way more offense. He's just going for pure economy, but that's not what he needs to do. These are the best rounds, the absolute best rounds to cause lives lost for your opponent, is round 6 and round 4 probably. Once you get to round 8 and onwards, where you get the ricochet up, it's just really hard to sneak a couple of lives lost. And so I feel like look, we can see here that Dark Affliction is doing really good. He's doing really aggressive strategies. He's continuing to force Assassin Boy to lose lives. Look, even more lives lost. And now with Dark Affliction getting that ricochet up, he's going to be completely safe versus any rush Dark Affliction can do. And yeah, it looks like his boomerang placement is actually working pretty damn well, which is very surprising. So I apologize, guys, if this video seems a little bit choppy. It's because Assassin Boy, basically to save space on the uploads and things like that, he actually sped this video up to 2 times. So which means we're actually missing every second frame. I think that's how it works. So he sped the video up 2 times, then I slowed it back down to 2 times when I recorded the video for the commentary. So Dark Affliction getting the mortar up, and oh my god, that's a very interesting mortar placement. Wow, Dark Affliction is showing me like all these new things that I've never seen before. So yeah, he's putting the mortar placement in this bin here, which is, I don't know, it's just different from the place that I put it. I usually put it at the top bin because now the balloons are gonna get quite far past before they get decamoed. And notice he's put it right in the middle of the track here. I really wonder if putting it in the middle of the track is enough to decamo everything with one mortar. But having said that, this is Dark Affliction, guys. He is the king in the King of the Hill, so I really have no reason to doubt it. And oh my gosh, I have not been paying attention to this. So Assassin Boy going for ice towers. This is just insane, guys. I have no idea why he's doing this. Going for double, what is it, 2-0 ice towers, maybe 2-2? The ice towers definitely upgraded to something. And this is really going to help a lot with popping those blacks. But of course with the 4-2 bomb tower, he's pretty safe versus blacks as well. So ice tower, very useful for late game. He's probably going to use it to get an Arctic Wind a bit later. But yeah, really interesting. I wonder if this defense can stop ceramics. If it can, it's a pretty cheap defense versus ceramics. Definitely a lot cheaper than Dark Affliction's defense. And that's probably why he has his defense, because it's a very cheap ceramic defense. And it does mean that... Okay, so now I know why he didn't use Tech Shooter. It's because he doesn't have a Tech Shooter in his loadout. He actually has Mortar, Bomb, Ice, and probably Super Monkey. Monkey Ace. So he's got a very interesting loadout here. Ice, Bomb, Mortar, Super Monkey Ace. Which means he's not using the Tech Shooter, and that's why he had to use the Mortar as his popping power for blacks. But unfortunately, Dark Affliction showing that you can still exploit that defense just a little bit, and those black balloons able to cause that Assassin Boy to lose a couple more lives. So Dark Affliction already getting double mortar. So some of you guys might have learned already about these, what I call the Tyler attacks, because Anacondas / Tyler was the first person to show these types of attacks in King of the Hill, where you exploit the person's mortar. So you stack the regular balloons with camo balloons against the mortar, and it means that the mortar is overwhelmed, and actually it can't pop all the camo balloons into regular balloons. And that's a great way to cause your opponent to lose quite a few lives. I mean, if you can get one one camo ceramic past your opponent's defense, that's like 100 lives lost right there, pretty much. So that's a really, really powerful attack, and that's why usually by about round 18 is when you sort of force your opponent to get double mortar. And I think there might even be ways to do a rainbow and camo attack on round 13 that can cause your opponent to lose a couple of lives. But that's a really dangerous attack to do, because it's a really, really expensive attack. And if it doesn't work, or even if it does work, you're sort of letting yourself susceptible to counter attacks. And indeed, we see Assassin Boy going for the round 18 Arctic Wind. Arctic Wind's such a strong ability, really, really good, making the defense against ceramics just like much, much cheaper. Basically, one Arctic Wind and one 4-2 Bomb Tower is all you need for permanent defense versus any number of ceramics. Okay, so here's the sort of danger rounds. Round 20, round 21, round 22. This is when you can do sort of big rushes with Rego BFBs, things like that. But you know, Dark Affliction is just sitting pretty. He's probably got just enough defense to again get no lives lost. As I really think Park is a map that is big enough to achieve no lives lost. And we're gonna see here if Assassin Boy can find any way to get past Dark Affliction's defense. With double mortar, pretty much impossible to do any mortar exploits. And interesting that Dark Affliction has got his Moab Maulers on the top side. So he seems more concerned with the natural Moabs than he is with the Moabs that Assassin Boy can send. Although I'm not too sure if the mortar in that placement can actually hit the very left side track. Maybe it can. Actually, I didn't notice that Assassin Boy also has the Moabs in the same place. So interesting here, Dark Affliction is sending a Moab for a little bit of aggression. I don't know why I did that, as I don't think this attack will be very, very effective at all, especially with that Arctic Wind. There should be no way that a single Moab could have done any damage there. And also, he just doesn't need to do damage. He's ahead in lives. You just need to wait it out until round 38, and he'll win the game. Simple as that. And I wonder if Assassin Boy 2600 is going to be able to exploit the Moab changes on round 30. Some of you guys might not have known about this, but there's a relatively recent patch, maybe about a few weeks ago, where Ninja Kiwi made it so that Moabs and BFBs and Zomai Gods from round 30 onwards are at full health. And what I mean by that is that actually at the moment, the ones you can send against your opponent are actually at 50% health. They're not at full health. That's why usually sometimes these computer Moabs are actually much, much harder for your Moab Maulers to pop than the ones that you can send versus your opponent. It's because they're actually at twice the number of health as the ones that you can send versus your opponent. Because they're 100% health versus the 50% health ones that you can send. And oh my god, so here's the big attack by Assassin Boy on round 25, going for a BFB attack on round 25. Very, very interesting. Very interesting timing for this attack. Look at, oh my god, Dark Affliction has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ricochets. 6 ricochets up. So he's obviously very concerned about these ceramics. And oh my god, he just destroyed. Oh, I see. So he was trying to stack that. So I see one camo. Did I say camo get through? No lives lost. So that was the quote-unquote Anaconda's attack or Tyler attack. We tried to exploit Dark Affliction's mortars by stacking the regular balloons from that BFB with the camo balloons. And you can see that some of you guys might have seen the camo pinks go through, but with the double mortar, that was such good defense that none of those camo balloons could have snuck through. So that's pretty much it for Assassin Boy, I think. We're just waiting for a GG from him, because now that he's spent all that money on that attack, there's no way he can do another attack that's equally as effective. And don't, keep in mind, guys, that Dark Affliction is still hiding at ground 0 behind as his 4th tower. So I doubt any other future attacks will work, as he's probably going to send, he's probably already saved up enough money for a ground 0 by now. But look at this defense by Dark Affliction. Let's just analyze this for a second, guys, because actually there's quite an interesting insight to find out here. So we saw a BFB being sent, and Dark Affliction stopped it with just 3 Maulers. Just 3 Moab Maulers. and meanwhile he has like tons of ricochets. So the lesson here that Dark Affliction is trying to teach us is that the actual danger from BFBs, from Moabs, from even Zomai gods is not the actual Moabs or BFB layer itself. It's actually the ceramics afterwards. He's actually really set and really, you know, scared of the ceramic layer afterwards, and that's why he has all these ricochets. Dark Affliction is saying he needs to reboot. I'm not too sure what he means by that. And okay, so here's a surrender by Assassin Boy, realizing he can't win. There it is, GG! Dark Affliction managed to hold versus that one attack on round 25, and that's basically all he need. Unfortunately, Assassin Boy's early game just not up to scratch. He picked a large map, or a reasonably large map in Park, but unfortunately, still that early game not able to maintain no lives lost, which is just so critical for King of the Hill. So, yeah, interesting lesson learned there for some of you guys is how to deal with Moabs and BFBs is actually to focus more on defending against the ceramics. Not to focus so much on those Moab Maulers, just 3 was enough. And to focus more on getting those ricochets up to defending against ceramics is actually way more key to making sure you don't lose any lives to Moab rushes. Alright guys, let's go to game 3 to see what map Assassin Boy can pick to come back in the series. He's already down 2-0. Okay, we're here in game number 3, and let's find out what map Assassin Boy 2600 has chosen for game number 3. Oh, Hydro Dam! Wow, so going from a medium-sized map to the smallest map in the map pool. I hope he's very confident in his Hydro Dam strategy, otherwise he's going to be down 3-0, and that would really suck for him because, oh by the way guys, games versus the King are best of 7 instead of the regular best of 5, so this series will be a bit longer than usual. So both these guys going for bomb tower starts on Hydro Dam, really interesting, and they're probably going to go for Dartling Gun. Yep, Dartling Gun, a very popular strategy for Hydro Dam, and let's see if Dark Affliction is going to go for Dartling Gun as well. He probably will. He might go for Boomerang. The left side you can go Boomerang, where you can't go Boomerang on the right hand side. Or he might just be happy to leak some lives. I have no idea. He has to get some Dartling Gun now, or he's going to lose a life. So, first life lost by Dark Affliction, and he's going to leak quite a few lives here. Wow. Oh, finally getting that Dartling Gun down. So, Dark Affliction obviously caring way more about getting a high economy rather than getting lives, rather than, you know, caring too much about saving lives. And, you know, he's probably the king, so he's the king for a reason, so he's probably right. I actually, you know, just introspection, I actually really like not showing the loading screen, because what value do we get from the loading screen? We just get to see what map they pick, and I can just talk a little bit about it. I have a little bit more time to talk about random stuff, but I actually like it this way. This way we actually get a surprise because we don't get to see what map they choose until the map actually starts. So I actually really like doing this one. I might just cut out the loading screen in the future, because also when I do the loading screen I have to put that silly little picture in front of the tower, so I cover up the towers. This way when I start from the game, you know, from the loading screen, I actually don't need to cover up the towers. It's just much less editing for me. Actually, yeah, I think I might just do that in all future Killing a Hill. I'm not going to show the loading screen anymore. I might do it at the very start, because we would like to see the players' wins and losses. But yeah, other than seeing the players' wins and losses, there's really not much value to seeing that loading screen. So anyway, back to this game. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any issues with that. If you guys don't mind it, then I prefer to do it this way, because it just really saves me on editing time. I don't need to put in that little silly little picture. Okay, so back to this game guys. Dark Affliction down to 102 lives, whereas Assassin Boy able to maintain more lives, but clearly Assassin Boy has spent a lot more money. He got that 2-1 Dartling Gun up faster. He got the Dartling Gun up initially faster, and ooh, we see a Boomerang for Assassin Boy. And so yeah, definitely Dark Affliction being a hitting economy here. And okay, so Dark Affliction also showing a Boomerang. So both these guys are going to use a Boomerang, probably a Ricochet, to defend against round 8 Bigo rushes. And these black balloons are doing a little bit of damage to Assassin Boy, and it's actually catching up, making a Dark Affliction catch up in lives. Whereas I feel like, okay, so both these guys going for black rushes now, and oh, fantastic! So these are fantastic attacks by Assassin Boy, because he's stacking up the black balloons with the other balloons, with the regular balloons, and at the same time, Dark Affliction also doing the same. Both these guys losing lives. This is like another horse race of lives being lost. Okay, so Dark Affliction getting that Ricochet up just in time for round 8 to be completely safe. And will we see a bit... Oh, never mind, so Assassin Boy also getting that Ricochet up. And now they should be completely safe and also not lose any lives from this point onwards for a little while. So, there's actually a topic that I'm really interested to talk about that I probably won't talk about in this game because Hydro Dam is a really short game. But if we go to the next map, it's a big map, there's actually a really interesting and important topic to talk about right now that's affecting King of the Hill. And I want to get your guys' opinion on it. So stay tuned for that in the next map. But for now, we're getting up to the dangerous rounds. Assassin Boy already getting his mortar up for round 10. So for round 12, and already getting it up to camera detection. So he's obviously not going to spend any more money on economy balloons, because if he did, he should have done it first before getting the camera detection. Otherwise, it's a bit of an inefficient way of doing it. Dark Affliction is still going for attacks. Really interesting. Spending money on essentially useless attacks. So those Rigo Blacks did not do anything. Rigo Leads did not do anything. And now, round 12, still no camera detection by Dark Affliction, relying solely on that Dartling gun. I don't know if I agree with this. Maybe a huge camera rush here could win Assassin Boy the game. Okay, so here we go. We're doing a huge regular Rainbow Rush. Okay, Dark Affliction gonna go for the Bland Maelstrom defense. Really interesting, but oh my god, there it is. GG right there. Dark Affliction being a little bit too slow with that Bland Maelstrom. Wow, he actually did it really fast, guys. He sold the Ricochet and he sold the Dartling gun, but he was still too slow with that Bland Maelstrom defense. This just goes to show how hard it is to do a Bland Maelstrom defense for a Rainbow Rush on Hydro Dam. So it's Assassin Boy 2600 taking the risk there with that massive Rainbow Rush, but the risk paid off, and unfortunately Dark Affliction just being a little bit too slow with that Maelstrom defense. And that also, the fact that he lost a lot of lives early on, I think also factored strongly into that, because he was already down like half his number of lives, which makes actually defending against a Rainbow Rush quite a bit harder, because oftentimes when you defend Rainbow Rushes, you leak a couple of lives, but you still hold. But if you're already down half the number of lives, then actually it means that a Rainbow Rush is just that much more dangerous. Okay, so finally, Assassin Boy making a bit of a comeback here, making it now, I think, 2-1 in the series count. So, let's go to game number 4. Alright, we're here in game number 4, and it's Temple. So, Dark Affliction obviously favoring the small maps, as he's very confident in his farm strategies. And, yeah, I guess I'm pretty sure that's why he picked this map. I'm pretty sure he's also going to go farms, as he showed farms on cards. And indeed, both players going farms this time. So Assassin Boy learning from a mistake on cards, knowing that now he can't defend against the unstoppable farm rushes of Dark Affliction. So now choosing to use farms himself, which is pretty much the only way that we found so far to stop farm rushes. Which is actually the perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about. So, I don't think I need to talk too much about what's going to go here. The action in the first couple of rounds, as they're pretty standard. Both players going for boomerangs and bomb towers. Probably going for the 2-3 boomerang. In fact, I'm like 99% sure they're going to go for the 2-3 boomerang. If they go for the 3-0 boomerang, I'll be so surprised. Just because it's so weak versus blacks on round 6. And both these guys should definitely be smart enough to know that. And whoa! Oh my god, I thought Assassin Boy for a second there was going to put a boomerang in the bottom left corner there. That would be insane. Oh my god, is he actually going to do it? He's actually doing it! He's putting a boomerang in the bottom left corner! I am speechless, guys. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know why I did this. This is insane. What does that achieve? What does that achieve? Okay, what? And he just sold it again. Okay. I don't know what that was about, guys. I honestly have no idea. Because as far as I can tell, that boomerang achieved nothing. I can't even hypothesize about what it could have achieved if Dark Affliction did some sort of weird rush. Because he just sold it like almost immediately. Like he only used it for less than 20 seconds. Anyway, so these guys are just going with this 2-3 boomerangs are completely safe. And they're just going to get their farm economies up. Which is the perfect time for me right now to talk about something that I want to talk about. There's a new strategy out at the moment, and it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's, I'll probably call it the Trevor strategy, just because he's the first person to publicize it. I know Speedo uses it. I know quite a few other people have been testing it. In fact, actually, a lot of every nobleman has been testing it hard out at the moment because it's just ridiculously overpowered strategy. And it's basically pure ice towers, mass ice towers. And there's a couple of things to discuss about it. One is that the first one is that well, first of all, let me just explain what it is. So basically, it's using the 2-0 ice tower ability to pop balloons. And the reason why this can be done is because there was a patch just recently, maybe a few days ago, released by Ninja Kiwi, where the ice tower can now pop white balloons. They can pop white balloons and they can pop zebra balloons, which they couldn't do before. So right now, what's interesting is that they don't get triggered by white balloons, but they can pop them. So for example, if it was just pure white balloons going past, then the ice towers don't do anything. They don't shoot at all. But if there was like one black balloon with that group of white balloons, then it triggers the ice tower, the 2-0 ice tower, to pop that black balloon. And that ice tower actually has the popping power to pop the white balloons into, I think it's pinks. And then, oh, by the way, a quick little yellow rush here. But Dark Affliction responding perfectly with a ricochet. A couple of lives lost, but nothing too big. Had to sell a farm for that, but again, you know, not a big deal. So that ice tower can now pop white balloons. Effectively, they can. I mean, the only situation they can't is when it's just pure white balloons, but that's not going to happen very often because you might have another like boomerang to go with it, or even if you don't, you know, you can have the mortar to go with it, just any other tower, just to pop those initial white balloons. And once you pop the first white balloon, then the ice tower can pop all subsequent white balloons because it's just like a chain effect. Once you pop the first one, then those ones become pinks, and then once you pop those pinks, the ice tower is usually in close enough range to pop the other white white balloons. So basically, you can go pure ice towers because what you do, you just get one or two, maybe 2-0 ice towers as your popping power, and then you use like maybe 3 or 4 0-0 ice towers to lock the balloons in place. Now this is the marginal part, is that you are using 0-0 ice towers to lock balloons in place, but you're locking them in place in an area where they can be popped by the 2-0 ice tower. So I mean, it's really hard to describe it. The best way to see what it really is to go watch a video. Actually, it's a King of the Hill battle video, surprisingly, that was recorded by Trevor Squires. So Trevor Squires is Unstoppable 1237. He's currently a nobleman, and he released his own video on his own channel about a King of the Hill video. And that's perfectly okay with me. I mean, we get tons of King of the Hill videos, and we don't really have the opportunity to show them, all of them. So the ones we can't show, I'm perfectly happy with these guys like Anacondas or Trevor Squires to host them on his own channel. And by the way, here guys, a quick little camo pink rush, and oh, that camo ceramic almost got past, but not quite. By the way, guys, even though I'm talking about the ice towers, I am still paying attention to this game. If I see anything interesting, I would definitely stop talking about what I'm talking about and jump right into the commentary. But at the moment, it's still pretty standard stuff. Both these guys just going farm economy. Dark Affliction obviously showing he's a better player as he has more farm economy, which is just really impressive. I have no idea how you get more farm economy in a farm versus farm situation, but somehow he's achieving it. So anyway, go check out the Ice Tower strategy by Trevor Squires and just go Google search his name in YouTube, and he actually does a very good job of explaining it and showing it, and he basically did this Ice Tower strategy in every single game versus win-loss ratio OP, which is also another Nobleman. So it was a Nobleman Battles that Trevor Squires participated in, and he pretty much crushed farm strategies with the Ice Tower strategies, and he yeah, you'll get to see how ridiculously overpowered it is, because in that one you get to see Trevor Squires' income, and he literally gets like 900 income by round 13. I think, like, it's just ridiculous. And the reason we can do that is because A, the defense is way cheaper, and B, the ice towers do stall the rounds a little bit. Oh, so a quick little Moab rush here. May do some damage. Oh, that single Moab Mauler just barely able to pop that enough in time, and a couple of lives lost by Dark Affliction. Yep, just a couple of lives lost, but overall still doing pretty well. It's just really interesting that Dark Affliction knows exactly the perfect amount of defense he needs to stop Moabs. And whoa, why is he like flashing uncontrollably? I don't know why it's doing that. A little bug by Ninja Kiwi here. Dark Affliction's lives just completely flashing uncontrollably. But anyway, just give me the opinions on that Ice Tower strategy and just tell me if you think it's ice stalling. That's the main concern that I have. Obviously, I'm very concerned that it's overpowered. But it's overpowered partly because it's kind of like semi-ice stalling. So here's a big rush here by Dark Affliction. Really interesting that he's going for a rush. And oh, a big counter rush by Assassin Boy. Whoa, this is really interesting. And so he's trying to exploit the mortar with the camo balloons. So a huge camo rush here by Assassin Boy, going all out with the camo balloons. GG. Whoa, why is it GG? I don't know why. GG for who? I guess. Well, so there's no way Assassin Boy can defend against this BFB. He has to attack to win right here. Can he do an attack to win, or is this going to be GG right here? Is there any attacks he can do? Unfortunately, there's no attacks. Damn, GG! Wow, that was actually really close, guys. I didn't see that, but Dark Affliction got down to 6 lives in the end here. 6 freaking lives. So that was so close. Assassin Boy making a really interesting decision to go for the counter attack as opposed to go to the defense. Not something that I would have done. I would have definitely gone for the defense, as I think a single BFB is not that dangerous. It should be pretty actually easy to defend against a single BFB, especially once you've sold all your farms. You can easily get a defense up. Let me think about this. Okay, so actually no, never mind. The thing is that Dark Affliction only sold like half of his farms for that attack. So what happened there was Dark Affliction selling half of his farms, causing Assassin Boy to sell all of his farms, and that's why he couldn't go for the defense. Because if we went for the defense, okay, you know, great, you've defended the rush, but now you have 0 farm economy versus Dark Affliction, which has 3 farms economy. So that means you're like actually way behind, even though you're able to hold that defense. So basically, what that means is that you have to be able to be even to hold that defense and still be even. You have to maintain 3 farms, at least 3 farms, and defend with whatever money you can salvage from the the 2 or 3 farms you sold. That's the only way you can maintain even economy and defend the rush. And maybe that wasn't possible, I'm not too sure. But nevertheless, after he sold all of his farms, going for the defense was actually the wrong play. It just means that he'd be forever behind. And so, going for the counter rush was the correct strategy, but unfortunately just really close to the series there, guys. Oh my god, getting Dark Affliction down to 6 lives, and using the camo attack was probably the right choice, as I think Dark Affliction only had 1 mortar that whole time. But unfortunately, that slow-moving BFB eventually got there. I actually don't know if it was a BFB that killed him, or the regular balloons. As actually, my screen is black right now. I don't have the screen that you guys are seeing. I actually edit that picture in later for you guys, so my screen is just black right now as the video is finished. So yeah, it might have been the BFB or the regular balloons that killed Assassin Boy, but nevertheless, holy cow, such a good series, such a good game in that game number 5. Down to 6 lives, but just not quite enough. So, Assassin Boy, unfortunately, down 3-1. Can he come back in the series, or is he going to lose it in the next game? Let's get to game number 6 to find out. Game number 5. Game number 5 to find out. Okay, we're here in game number 5, and the map that Assassin Boy 2600 has chosen is... what's this called? Pyramid Steps. Pyramid Steps it is. So, another very medium-sized map. Pyramid Steps is basically the same as Park. Not exactly the same, but the length of the track is very similar, so it's really close whether you should go farms on the strategy. And wow, that's actually really surprising to me. That's really surprising. I would have thought that this is a map that you can achieve no lives lost. I thought it would be big enough. I thought it was more like a Park map where no lives lost is possible, but both Dark Affliction and Assassin Boy thinking this is a map more like Cards and Temple, where it's just too small to achieve no lives lost, and you actually can't stop those round 20 big Moab rushes. Which, okay, I guess might be the case. I haven't played in this map enough. And really interesting boomerang placement by Dark Affliction. I've never seen this boomerang placement before. I think I might have seen it once, but I really can't remember. No, I don't think I'm very familiar with it. I'm more familiar with the boomerang placement that Assassin Boy is using, right in the middle of the map. It can't really solo everything, but it's just such a good place to be able to hit most balloons, and maybe you just need 1 more balloon for cleanup at the end. Let me think about this. So I guess if Dark Affliction leaves this boomerang on first, then it shoots across that bend, hits the other bend, and is able to hit the middle straight part as well. So we're going to see if it can handle pinks. I think Assassin Boy should send some pinks here. Or maybe not. I mean, both of them are going farm economy, so they don't really want to send any balloons anyway. So yeah, we can see here, it does a pretty nice hook around this straight path, this bend, and the top straight bend as well. So pretty good position overall, actually. Okay, so yeah, just to finish off my thought about the ridiculously overpowered ice tower strategy. I mean, even if it's not ice stalling, it's just too overpowered. It's honestly like you can just defend anything. I'm 100% sure that once it's tweaked properly, it can achieve no lives lost on every map. Every map except for Hydro Dam, of course. It's not as ice tower stally as the one I used back in the day, but it's pretty damn overpowered. Like, yeah, I think it's definitely strong enough to achieve no lives lost on every map. It's a little bit random where sometimes a pink balloon slip through, but overall, if you don't do anything like crazy like exploiting the mortar and stuff like that, then you can pretty much achieve no lives lost. So definitely go and check that strategy out and tell me what you guys think about what I should do about this. Should I ban the strategy, or should I don't know, leave it as is, or should I honestly have no idea. I'm pretty lost about what to do about this strategy, guys. An interesting black rush here by Dark Affliction, showing that this middle boomerang spot is not quite enough to solo blacks. But I mean, honestly, there should be no spot anywhere where you can solo blacks, because solo blacks is pretty overpowered. I think only on Temple can a player actually solo blacks. Even on cards, it's a really good spot for boomerang, but it can't quite solo blacks. I think you can cause a couple of lives lost if you've seen a black rush. Okay, so both these guys from farm economy, and we're gonna see if Assassin Boy can do better with the farms this time. He's being completely destroyed by Dark Affliction's farm prowess. Dark Affliction doing that perfect round 20 rush. I wonder if that's actually defendable, because it's a really difficult spot. Dark Affliction sells 3 farms to send a Rigo BFB, but maybe you have to sell more than 3 farms to defend it. So in which case, you'll always come out behind. There's just nothing you can do, and you basically have to, maybe you just have to go for the all-out counter rush. But then we showed that Dark Affliction pretty much defended the all-out counter rush. I mean, he was down to 6 lives, yes, sure, but I think he could have definitely have afforded another mortar, and he was probably just a little bit too slow to react to get that second mortar up. I'm not too sure, guys. Really interesting that Assassin Boy isn't going to go for any rushes to force Dark Affliction to get more defense, as this defense is definitely not enough for a Rigo Yellow Rush, whereas Assassin Boy has got his defense up for a Rigo Yellow Rush. So that's just goes to show something that, you know, why Dark Affliction is such a good player. It's because you don't need to put the defense up, guys, unless your opponent attacks. So clearly with this 2-0 boomerang, he's getting ready to put the defense up. He's obviously probably got the farm hotkeyed. He's instantly ready to sell a farm and get that 3-0 ricochet up. But if your opponent's not going to send it, then you don't need to buy it, and which means that, look, right now, Dark Affliction is ahead in the economy. He's ahead a little bit in economy just because of that, because he didn't have to buy that ricochet so early. But honestly, I actually am more keen to talk about this ridiculous ice strategy, as it's really all the buzz right now. Oh, but never mind. So a Rainbow Rush here by a really small Rainbow Rush, really interesting, forcing Dark Affliction to get defense up. And look at this perfect play by Dark Affliction, getting 2 ricochets, knowing the perfect amount of defense he needed to stop that sort of medium-sized Rainbow Rush. And just, oh my god, just perfect play by Dark Affliction. It's so good. Not overreacting. That's the thing about farms, is you don't want to overreact and sell like 2 of your farms to defend it, because that means that you're so far behind in the economy. And Dark Affliction is selling that 1 farm, but not selling 2 farms. And that was just a perfect defense. Oh my god, Dark Affliction is just so good at farm strategies. So, Assassin Boy, down a little bit in economy, with having only 4 farms compared to Dark Affliction's 5 farms. I would say he's probably a little bit over-defending. Yeah, I would say he's definitely over-defending. He doesn't need to get that second 2-3 boomerang until he sees his Dark Affliction going for a rush. And so now he's playing catch-up with the economy. He basically can never catch up in the economy now, because every additional farm economy he adds, Dark Affliction knows that he's safe to add his own farm tower, because he knows that that money isn't being saved to do a rush against him. Okay, so we're getting up to round 17 here, and just something that I've learned from this video alone, that, I mean, I've learned so much from watching Dark Affliction already. I've learned that how to exploit, how to do really high level good farm versus farm strategies is basically on round 20 to go for an attack that may force your opponent to overreact, and at the same time, if your opponent attacks into you, not to overreact, but also obviously not to underreact. Underreact is terrible as well. If you underreact, you just die. But having that perfect balance is really high level stuff, guys, and that's why farm strategies are really high level, and that's why only the best players in the world are able to use farm strategies effectively. So really interesting here, guys, that Dark Affliction is actually down in lives versus Assassin Boy. So the pressure is really on Dark Affliction to go for the attack. But knowing Dark Affliction, he's probably going to do some sort of fakey, or do some sort of medium-sized attack, or do something that's going to cause Assassin Boy to either die or sell too many farms and be behind in the economy. I just feel like overall Dark Affliction is just a much better farm player than Assassin Boy. But yeah, again, I just want to remind you guys, to encourage you guys to go watch this ice strategy by Assassin Boy, as it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's just so overpowered. And okay, so here it is, Dark Affliction doing the same BFB strategy. So look at this. Now Assassin Boy is adjusting perfectly. He hasn't sold any farms to defend this. He's showing that he may have enough defense here. Oh, this is gonna be really close, guys. Oh my god, these ceramics. Oh, a lot of lives lost, and there it is, GG. Oh my god, so it looks like that you can send a BFB rush on round 20 without selling any farms, but you have to sell farms to defend it. So that just means that on round 20 you should always go for a BFB rush and just force your opponent into a really awkward position where he has to either die, maybe Assassin Boy's defense wasn't the most efficient use of money, maybe, but it was pretty efficient. He didn't have too many maulers, and he put most of it into those 4-2 bomb towers. Maybe he should have put more ricochets up, as seems like Dark Affliction prefers to use ricochets as a defense against those ceramics, as opposed to the 4-2 bomb tower. So yeah, there it is, GG, Dark Affliction winning 4-1, and please go check out the Ice Tower strategy by Trevor, and I want to know if you guys think it's A, ice stalling, or not, and B, if it is overpowered, and trust me, it is overpowered. And given that it's overpowered, what should I do about it? Should I ban it from King of the Hill, or should I leave it in? Should I don't know, what should I do about it? And C, it's just a couple of lessons learned from Dark Affliction in this game. One is that in farm vs farm situations, you can send a BFB on round 20 and it just forces your opponent into a really awkward spot. And number 2, you actually only need 1 more mauler on round 18, not 2. I've been using 2 this whole time, and actually Dark Affliction has just shown me that you only need 1, as long as you have enough boomerang and ricochet defense up afterwards, because mainly it's actually ceramics you're scared of, not the Moai Mauler. Alright guys, so that's it. Dark Affliction retaining his king spot, winning 4-1 versus Assassin Boy, and hopefully we're going to see more TDA games in the future. That's it for me. My name is Ryan Zoo. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.